So we haven't got done much with the Mustang yet, but we are going to go ahead and get the tires replaced. You see we got the whole front end jacked up and on jack stands. We're going to pull these front tires off, which are completely bald. Well, just about. We're going to rotate them to the rear with these tires over here. So I haven't even heard of these before, but they are the 225, 55, ZR16W rated XL, and I cannot say that name. Accient something. PHIRs. They are a Walmart special, 140 bucks for 2 tires. But let's throw them on. They look pretty cool. This is my brother Timmy, and we're putting the tires on the Mustang right here in his garage. Great mechanic. Unfortunately, I don't have a tire machine, so I can't do it at home. But we'll be getting these tires on, taking a look at them, getting them on the Mustang. Come down and see him if you're in Roanoke. We're at Bill's Auto Sales, and he needs all the work you can give him. Thanks. So we got the new tires on. They're loaded up in the trunk of the QX, and we're going to get these home, put them on the rear of the Mustang, so it's going to require a little finagling since the front's on jack stands. So we're going to see what kind of dance we can do. Get them on and get this thing looking better. All right, back home, and we've got to get the tires on the Mustang. I got the QX backed up right here, so we can just unload them right in. Unfortunately, the new tires need to go on the rear. So what we're going to have to do is put one tire on here and teeter the car up on one side, because we can't get 3 corners in the air without this thing becoming really dangerous. So we're going to put one here, do one side, rotate new tires to the back, so the new tires are on the back where we're going to have the most traction. And let's get this thing done. The tires look good. Let me show you. The only thing that bothers me, I mean, it's my brother, so I'm not going to complain, but you're supposed to line up your dot here with your valve stem to get the best balance possible. Tire manufacturer puts work into that so they know your best balance point. But they're on there. We got the wheels balanced out correctly on both sides. Yeah, I know some people don't like how it looks, but the wheel has a lip, so we're going to utilize it instead of using sticky weights in the middle, where I don't think the balancing works out quite as well. But let's put them on. So to explain better what we're doing is we have this side jacked up off the ground now. And what we need to do is we need to take the rear tire, which is older. We're going to rotate it to the front. We're going to take the new tire and put it on the rear, because we want the best tread on the rear. This is a rear-wheel drive car. That's where we want all of our traction. So we'll go ahead and do that, get it going, and get all 4 wheels back on the ground. In case you haven't seen it already, there are those beautiful Monzo lowering springs my daughter and I put on last year. We started working on this. Awesome. I want to cut them though, so a little bit lower, because it's not quite where I want it. That's going to be another video. Even though we're using a valid Snap-on 275-pound gun to tighten the lugs on the Mustang, I still recommend always using a torque wrench, because we're using a home air compressor. It gets 125 pounds, so even with the Snap-on gun, it's not getting enough pressure, so the torques are limited. Don't try to over-torque. I just zip them down with the gun, because I know what it's like to over-torque a wheel. And I always use a star pattern. If you don't know what that is, star pattern goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can go counterclockwise if you like. That's just to mitigate any possible rotor warping from over-torquing the wheels. But we'll go ahead and zip them down, and then we're going to give it a test drive and see how she handles. So in case you didn't notice already, I keep this little cord hanging out. That's because we keep the battery on the tender, because it sets for a long time before I do anything. So we're going to plug it in, see how the battery looks. Right now it's detecting a fault. That's great. So let's unplug the battery. Plug it back in. Still reading a fault. There's no way it's lost charge already. The battery wasn't even plugged in. It's fantastic. Okay. Well, let's see if it even tries to... Well, I gotta hook up the battery first. Let's see if I get a spark. No spark. That's not a good sign. Oh, that is bigger than a 10. Okay. Let me see if I got the right wrenches. I highly recommend this rationing tool roll. Take it everywhere. I'll lose a couple things. Got it off Amazon for review process. It's awesome. I can carry it everywhere and lose my tools anywhere. So it looks like it's probably a 12. Let's tighten that real quick. Alright, I'm going to see if I can find the keys and get her started. Alright, so it wouldn't jump. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to, I'm sorry, it wouldn't start with off the jump pack. It wouldn't start off a charged battery, at least what I thought was charged. So we're going to try it on the jump pack and see if it'll start. Sounds good. Well, it gets started once in a while, still purrs like a kitten. The headers don't hurt. Alright, we'll let it run for a few minutes, take it for a drive. Alright, we're in the Mustang. We're going to take it for a trip around the block since it's not registered or tagged or anything. We just need to make sure it's running okay. Unfortunately, I did run out of daylight, but we're going to take it for a round and see how she does. So nice with tires full of air. Alright, we got out of the driveway without dragging, that's good. It's not too loud. Headlights are really dim. Brakes work good. Dash lights are still bright, I'm not getting any dimming, so I think the alternator is working pretty well. Might have a shot battery. Alright, good trip. So overall, I think we've been relatively productive today. We're back in the driveway. She still runs really well, purring like a kitten, even though we had to kick some dust off to get her started. Riding pretty well. We will need to get this little bezel replaced that goes around the vents and the radio. I know you can't see, it's really dark in here, but it's broken. I did replace the radio a while back ago. Had to get some bass blockers and the tweeters. Of course, I can't hear radio very well because I'm doing an antenna delete, so it's not picking up radio stations very clearly. But it's a fun little radio. do smell some burn off. It could be some oil. Still, like I said, relatively new headers. It could be just be burning off release or any coating they have on those. But Mustang doesn't have too much more to go, and then she'll be ready to sell.